Blog Talk Radio. Okay. Uh-oh. Hello. Hello. Let's start over. I'm sitting there just yapping, and here it is. Oh, look at there. All right. Let's start over with this conversation. Hi, this is Irene. How are you doing? Wonderful. I just wanted to express my cheer to the listening audience. What I was explaining was is that I'm really excited to have a conversation, and that I realized after going and searching on Blog Talk Radio and to other stations that we actually have chat. So I put up the chat. So if you want to chat on Street Meet's Blog Talk side of it, please, I encourage you to chat on there if you feel like you're not interested in really being on the radio. And so I just said halo, Halo, not hello, but halo, and says giving it up to Beyonce. And as usual, we'll be going over some of the information that is that is provided on a regular when we're communicating and bringing forth Street Meet. Again, today is Sunday, June 1st, 2014. Good one. How are we doing today? I am, as always, enthused to communicate the news of the day to you. S, M, and I's out there. Boon. B-O-O-N. Blessings. My name is Irene Ratliff, Regal Street Meet Company. Street Meet Company is a nonprofit organization seeking partners and sponsors such as the listening audience to help ameliorate goals that can improve our community. Please like Street Meet Company, www.streetmeet.biz and www.meetup.com/meet, M-E-E-T. Listeners can call 646-564-9776. Listeners, you are able to call 646-564-9776. We are on the air for 120 minutes daily, starting at 11:30 p.m. By the grace of goodness, we are trialing Blog Talk's premium package, and we would like to be and maintain the airtime. But we need donations, so please visit our website at www.streetmeet.biz and www.meetup.com/street-meet. All right? All right, today we have Street Meet Mingo. I need to bring some little sounds in here. Like that saxophone for you, Jima. Anyway, we are fortunate whenever we are able to share the harvest or festive table to others. Oh, the table was beautiful. If you go on the website, on the meetup.com, you'll see that there's a couple of pictures there of the table. I didn't take pictures of us. In fact, the picture that I wanted to load of me didn't go on there, but there was 3 of the table, and I thought the way the table was set up with the vegetables and the fruit, it smelled so sweet. It smelled so good. I was like really impressed with how it was smelling. I was like, well, it's the library, but no, it really was the room. And I was just really kind of excited about the aroma that was there. Really, really sweet. And I was like, well, I was fortunate to get a couple of young ladies who is really, to tell you the truth, I explained the whole thing about Street Meet. I didn't have any of my notes, so it was kind of casual. The way I set the chairs and stuff up, it was around and opposed to kind of like lined up a certain kind of way. It gave us some room to do a little bit of yoga and Pilates. And I found this young ladies to be really informative in so many different ways. What kind of guidance that we can provide to our young ladies. You know, I was talking about tulips. And here it is, the explanation of tulips is clear. So I had asked these young ladies, 123 years old, big up to the Hebrew Israelites. Hello? Say, here it is, whatever that they're in terms of their teaching, I was impressed. But I wanted to say, you know, sometimes though, some information can go one way or another, and if we can kind of refine what that is or just kind of structure what that is, then here it is, it can really have some proper understanding. But anyway, let me just, the expression was, I asked the young lady, I said, do you understand tulips? I said, well, you know, I'm talking to her. I said, well, tulips. And she said, well, explain it to me. And so anyway, she was saying that she actually went straight to the woman's vagina. I was like, okay. She literally was, she said, well, Isaiah something. Don't give me the fibbing. She's like, well, here it is. The expression was is that where the vagina smelled like flowers, and then here it is, it no longer smelled like flowers. It began to smell like administration. I said again, let me repeat it. It is administration. I said, shut up. Okay, how you know that? Because she studies her book. And so I said, you know, that's interesting. And the answer to that is yes. And then here it is, the conveyance of what we communicate outside of our mouth. So here it is, the things that we utter out of our mouth. And then here it is, and then that in between our legs, women, our vagina, our vajayjay, okay, our yani, okay. So I was like, wow. So she's like, well, the explanation was is that to tell you the truth, you know, the power that we have as females, and what does that mean? But the stench of the stench of menstrual. Well, first of all, if you're taking a bath, the people them taking a bath and everything, it shouldn't really smell a certain kind of way. But then I was just like, you know, here it is, the menstrual. You know, it's good to have that smell. But if this kind of smell, just jump in a shower. You know, bathe. It's okay. That's a beautiful process. You know, they try to make it seem a certain kind of way when you're reading inside the book or the Bible. But the thing is in actuality, the process of administration, they'll say, oh, don't do this, don't do, because the woman is actually going through a cleansing process. It's not that it's nasty. You'll find where they say, oh, okay, you can't touch this, oh, here it is, there should be another woman, don't do this. You know, when you see a woman go into administration, you have to acknowledge from the time that she was a young girl, then here it is, once she goes into young womanhood, she gains her menstrual, Okay, so it's a blessing. Anytime a woman has between one period and next period when she's actually bleeding, okay, where she's, doing her, it's a blessing. Why? Because here she's able to blessings. Blessings. Okay? So the thing is that she's able to produce and have children. So when we see women who are actually there and they're actually able to give birth, and that's a beautiful process. So when you see that your woman is actually through her administration, should you be like, oh, that's disgusting or that's nasty? I mean, there's some men who like it like that one way or the other, so I don't know. And then here it is, what about women who are barren and have menstrual cycles? Well, men can look outside of that, because here it is, they want a relationship. We do have a lot of children that need TLC. So just because a woman doesn't carry her own child, for friends, they are barren. They haven't had any children, and they want children. Okay, so the thing is that the community, they can adopt. They can work with children. Okay, but for some women, the experience of being able to actually carry a child is what is their interest. Okay, for some women, you get some women, they're satisfied being able to show their love and care to other people. Okay, but anyway, the conversation was tulips, and she said yes. She said the Yanni, the vajayjay. Like, okay. So anyway, the conversation went on, and the expression, these women were kind of thick, and the conversation kind of went on them wanting to lose weight. So it's not so much, matter of fact, I said, so what do you guys want to do after we have this meeting with Street Me? She was like, well, I want to exercise, because I was talking to her about the Guzo Saba. But that right there is a personal effort. Not to say that here it is, we can't exercise. So I'm looking for people who are in the area, but she was conscious, though, that she was concerned that if her spouse was, out there, or she's bending over and all that, how that may rub off on him, at the little park area at Fulton County. There's some constraints and for some men, they don't want their woman out there bent all over and looking a certain kind of way. They want them to be covered. I'm like, okay, well, there is the park over there at Melvin, which is off of Fairburn Road, and you can go there and exercise, and then of course we also have this other location over here in this direction. There's Adamsville. So I'm like, okay, well, here it is. It's not the encouragement, men, hello, or halo. I encourage you, men, please, involve yourself with your women in their exercise. Those women want to exercise. They do. Maybe they don't feel like they have a partner. Maybe they need some room for encouragement. Somebody to say, come on, let's go do this. I told you yesterday, one of my peers, I said, show me that A on that young, I was just trying to be a little, girl, let me see what you look like doing that A. Or the downward dog, as she said. I said, girl, let me see it. Woohoo, she cute too. Just skinny and just look good, right? So she do it, and then her guy, he's also a good-looking fella. He comes without hesitation, and he also does the downward dog with her. So here it is, you see that when he's with her, he appreciates whatever it is that she's doing. He's there to support her. But it was just, the interesting thing is that you see that they exercise and they participate in what that thing is together. Okay? So men, I encourage you, we appreciate that here it is, you like our fatness. We do. Thank you. We do, really, really, really do. And we like the fact that you like our cellulite, our two-side bellies, and here it is, our donut rolls. Hey, our crusty feet. Here it is, some of us got beards like me. That little stinky stitch. But But it's okay, and I think this is the room that women have to give their men to say, you know what, baby, let's go up and take a walk. Let's go walk, and let's go play some basketball. Let's go play some jump rope. Let's go get a hula hoop. You ain't going to offend us. I don't know. I ain't going to lie. I asked this man. I said, look here, I give you a jump rope, baby. He almost right. So I think that here it is, there is an appropriate way to discuss that. I mean, how are you going to get upset about exercising? I ain't going to fib to you. We have to acknowledge something. Here it is. Are we in denial? Ask us. Do you think that here it is, we're in denial when it comes down to exercising? Who am I to talk? I could get started, and then here it is, I don't want to do it one day, and I feel like I have an excuse the other day. And then here it is the 50 billion pound challenge. Get on YouTube. They got all kind of exercising things. Right now I'm on, I don't know, one of them stations. I look at Denise Austin, honey, and I like her, and this Jillian McMillan, what is her name? Jillian Myers or something. Jillian Michaels. I tell you the gun honest truth, it's okay. Sometimes I'm like, I done ate about 4 cookies a day. Okay, so here it is, those calories add up, but yet I'm that Guzo Saba. I ain't gonna fib to you. I told those girls, I said, you know what, okay, we meeting today. We're gonna work on these things in the middle. By next month, we should slim down at least about 5 pounds, right? We should look more toned. We should have at least move 5 pounds on the scale, but we ain't trying to look at it. We'll be able to look at each other and see if it look good. For real. Because, it says it's healthy to lose 1 pound a week, So here it is, a quarter on each of that. So 1 pound and a quarter, I guess. Anyway, we appreciate it, but men, I encourage you to get your women out there and exercise with them, okay? They want to exercise. They want to feel good. It's okay. Is there ways to do it? I'm going to repeat it. I don't know. Okay? Some people seem like they get upset. You need to go exercise, or you fat, or this, that, and the other. But you can't be like, come on, baby, let's go take a walk up the street. You don't have to be all out there like that. Matter of fact, she should just be more than willing to get up and just go exercise, especially if she, looking a certain kind of way. Anyway, so the thing is that I would like to really, there was some interest that I had in terms of me receiving some training. I would like to gain some etiquette, how I sit at the table, how I communicate with other people. So in terms of etiquette classes and mannerisms and, how we dress codes and how we need to do certain things, I ain't going to fib to you. Yes, we can do that. And that's on a low level, mid-level, and a high level. One of the things that in the expression was, I think that Asian women, they're so sweet. Now, all women are sweet. But when I see Asian women and how they care for their man, it's just a little different than here it is how I may see most women. And I was like, I ain't gonna fib to you. I'm like, honey boo, when it comes down to learning how to do certain things, especially when it comes down to massaging, I probably would have leaned on maybe the Asian culture to show me that. And then in terms of etiquette, I think that the Occidentals and Europe and here, they have really kind of mastered a certain kind of etiquette, well, really, to tell you the truth, all over the world, and especially if you're in certain places. But the thing is I do think that here it is, they do display that etiquette when it comes down to how you use your utensils, how you do your, I'm going to give it another name, how you do your mat. How you do your mat. That's really what it is. Anyway, how you do your mat when you're meeting different people. What does it mean when we're trying to build up certain ways? how do our young ladies meet and greet people of certain powers or certain places? How do we actually answer the phone? How we go about doing these things here and there? And I think that is important, And some of this stuff has to come from the international community to help us groom what that is. Okay? So here it is. That's something that needs, for a lot of women, the way we chew our gum. If we should chew our gum, I ain't going to flip you. I was in one of the meetings. I had to apologize to a girl that was sitting. The girl was like, mwah, 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 mwah. Hey, you know how like you chewing something and you think you hear somebody else? I'm like, that's me. I ain't gonna say I was tired though. I was like, now you know I was wrong for chewing that gum. Then another thing I acknowledged, like I was somewhere, and I do. I'm going here and there, and I think that I'm kind of tired because a little bit more so because I'm actually going out there and I'm riding the train and the bus and all that kind of stuff. And then here it is, I'm trying to stay up and do the paperwork here and there. But anyway, I was at one of these meetings and it was informative. But I found myself drifting off. And then I thought that my yawn was too big. Like, now you wrong, but that's rude. And then I was with my Amish family and everything. I was just like, girl, you, and I didn't want to be rude. It wasn't that whatever they was communicating was boring because it was informative, because this was the news of the day. How do we view community health and how do we view individual health? And it was important. I didn't talk about the cloning, but we'll go do that another time. But I was just like, oh, wow, really. So anyway, in terms of etiquette, I'm always trying to find that thing, even with myself and how I communicate with my family and how I communicate with other people. Sometimes, you have to have, not sometimes, all the time, we must maintain the balance about what that thing is. And being able to have that mediation about us is good. Okay, so women, I encourage tulips. I'm going to see whether these young ladies want to actually grow and develop in this area and see what they have to say. But the thing is, of course, if you find women out there and they want to talk about tulips, they're young ladies, hey, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of people who are have their circumstances, just like me. Have my situation right now. We kind of, the structure seems a certain kind of way. It's not that I don't want more. Of course, I always want to achieve more. But there are some people who are, they working on things, and here it is. We need to be able to understand the importance of what I think street meat company is, and what I've been trying to explain what that is. This one lady, they're going to have an event coming up, and she said, well, it's $50. So the thought earlier today, I'm going to branch back on to tulips, was all these places look for money here and there. Okay, they do. They look for money here and there. They want a donation. And the question would be, what would they need the donation for? And I know that this was a conversation even prior to Hurricane Katrina. One of the things that I was considering is if we was able to do like a search and rescue, well, really, to tell you the truth, I just kind of used that term to explain something. And it was a search and rescue, and here it is, people were able to go out and actually build their house, go out and search certain things, clear out the debris. This is on a construction end, and then whatever money was being donated, that could be used to actually build up the houses. So a lot of these people were pouring money during that time, just pouring in money here and there. And we were like, what was going on with it, And I just said, lo and behold, what you do find interesting, you don't really hear too much about the story in itself, but I ain't going to go into all that, okay? Anyway, moving right along from that. Okay? All right. But anyway, yes, so she asked me where's what is $50? I was like, I know that's right, girl, but that little $50, I don't know what she was trying to imply. I don't know. I think here it is, you should be donating me the $50. Instead of you want me, I want to try to find out what's going on in the planning while y'all planning the planning. I don't want to come and spend my $50 for the whole planning scope, and yet here it is. I don't think I'm a benefit from it. I don't want to just go out there and socialize. I want to know if my $50 is going to contribute to here it is, uplifting certain places and areas of Irene's, Ratliff's agenda in terms of street meat company. Okay? I mean, it's just the truth. If I knew that here it is, that $50 was going to be spent on what is needed, when I'm meeting people and they're homeless, or people, we got a lot of homeless people, but we got a lot of people who are in different pockets that are homeless, not the ones who's just at the shelter. Okay? Here it is, the people who need to pay, and now I'm trying to understand why are we chasing certain things? So let me explain to you what was happening with my account. Now, I know I had a conversation about this really briefly, but I explained to you that here it is, when it comes to my money, or here it is, my checking account, I did not balance to the penny. I would save money, okay? So here it is, if it was $4.50, it would be $5 to $6. I'll always try to credit my account more than what it was if whatever the debt was, I would credit that, and then here it is, then it applied to the debt. So it was a debt, a credit, a debt. No. Excuse me. Okay, hold on. The credit, the debt, the credit. So I guess the way that here it is, the way that would be kind of reviewed or viewed would be, if the thing was $4.13, I wrote $5. Okay, or $6, or however much it was. And then here it is, I have my money in there a certain kind of way. So all that to say is that if I'm doing my funds that way, then here it is, that change that I'm trying to save, and you're asking me to donate my money to your organization, and then I see that here it is, you're just talking about services, and you talk about your overhead, when here it is, Street Meat organization also needs overhead. And then here it is, where I want to be able to assist people in another area, especially when we start looking at not just services, but that innovation in areas where here it is promoting entrepreneurs, where in the area where it's trying to promote cultural awareness, where here it is, we see that it's in an area where it's trying to help with, then now I want you to donate to Street Meat, okay? So anyway, all that to communicate, here it is, our young ladies in their interest in being more feminine and exercising. And another thing that was interesting was our young ladies were interested in learning more on how they could be more effective to their significant other. They wanted to learn how to be feminine and show their appreciation per their demeanor. Okay, so I thought that was interesting and the way it was being explained or expressed was that, here it is, where there was a cycle of maybe her great-great-grandmother, let's go from there, her grandmother, her mother, and then her grandmother, her mother, her. She really didn't think, or even considering even the aunties and them, that she really did not learn what it is to love and care and be in a relationship with a man. But now she's married. But first I want to interject. Men are also responsible on how they women look. Men are responsible for how they women look. So this is what the expression is. Men, encourage your women to go exercise, okay? Because here it is, your women, they also want to encourage you to go get an education, okay? Your women, they want to encourage you to go and get a job or employment or become a business owner. I don't know. Everybody level it does vary, okay? My old lady said, I trust you as far as I can throw you. And then here she tell you the name far. And that's just true. But the thing is that when you're in harmony and you're in a relationship, that right there is interesting. And it was interesting because this young lady, I said, you could call out a monk and you could call out a nun. Which relationship is sacred? Or which one is in union? She said the union between a man and a woman. And I said, I know that's right. I was like, honey, tell me. Okay? So anyway, the thing is that when we have men, you are responsible for your women. Okay? Here it is, your women are a reflection of the man. Okay? So when we have, I'm going to let you know right now, on YouTube, all that negative talk about our men and our women of color, because to tell you the truth, you don't find white women talking like that, you don't find Asian women talking like that, you don't find Latino women talking like that. Here it is, you just got this whole corner of black women and men talking about each other like that. So I encourage you, please, there should be a task force just on YouTube taking all that rhetoric about how negative we need to speak. Oh, we don't have no black men. Our black men, what? You know how many men are out there with their women? They are out there with their women, and they're married to them too. Don't put us out there on negative steps. Oh, here it is, those fat black women. Thank you for liking on our fatness, but you can't encourage us to go get some exercise. We don't have to wait until January 1 to do that, okay? That's every day, okay? Even if it's doing some Pilates or some yoga, if you have to start off with that. But a walk around the block, a treadmill or something, the treadmill is different than the actual walking up and down the street. But anyway, going back to this. So anyway, having these women, and she was like, well, the cycle of where she is and what it means to her to want to be able to love her mate, her husband, her spouse, her significant other, and to, be like, okay, when he comes home, like, what did I do? What should she do? How should she involve herself? And so on. So there's some small suggestions. Here it is. If he's working, make sure that here it is. There's a meal cooked. Make sure the house is cleaned up before he gets home. These little small things. Bathe, do this, do that. I mean, whatever that is to try to, appease the house, because the thing is that the woman really runs the house. Okay, and so especially when here it is, you have somebody who want to share the space, and you're able to keep the place tidy and things like that. Hey, you find some men, you go to some women's house, they got a man. Men ain't sweating about the house looking a certain kind of way. Or here it is, this, that, and the other, and we thank you all too. Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, so it's not to sit here and be like, okay, well, this woman is this. No. But the thing is that when you're in union, you have to understand something. That here it is, when you're in union, it's a corporation. It is a business. And so when you're in your relationship, you set forth certain goals, whether you're buying, you're investing in assets, there's liabilities, there's insurance, there's investments, there's this, there's that, there's children. It's almost like that game of life. And know that it's always like Monopoly. And so the thing is that, wow, So anyway, she was like, well, maybe I don't feel like having any sex with him. Like, girl, I know that's right. But the thing is that when you're in union, there should be no reason why a woman should feel like she's holding off. Okay? So here it is. If a man feel like he ain't in no rush to do it, that's cool. But here it is. It should be interchangeable. When one wants to have it, provide it. When the other wants to have it, provide it. One don't feel like doing it, it's okay. You can always wait. Then here it is, vice versa. But don't do like, I don't need you. No. So anyway. So I was really excited to learn that here it is. There are young ladies who want to learn how to be submissive and to appreciate their man. So going back to this, please, you guys, there should be a task force on what? YouTube, please take that stuff off of there, honey, because that whole negative spin about this, that, and the other, and here, I'm like, oh no, that needs to come off, okay? So I don't really do any male bashing. I really don't. I do not. What I do, I try to encourage positive thoughts and try to, you know, the explanation and the expression of the importance of relationships. I do communicate heterosexual relationships. However, I am supportive of the lesbian, gay, bisexual community and the transsexual too. What do you mean by that? Well, there's been conversation about polygamy, and I've had some conversation on polygamy in regards to relationships, okay? And I've had a small conversation about this, but let's look at it. If I'm married, right, and the union is between me and my spouse, right, we're married, and my spouse decided that he wanted a male or a female to have a relationship with, and he didn't discuss it with me at that point, that's another level. If here it is, me being a female, and I was interested in another relationship, whether it's a man or a woman, then here it is, at that point, that needs to be communicated. When we look at the relationship and what it means in terms of wedlock, okay, so you'll find that some people will say just this, that whatever is done in the bed when you're married, that's what it is, okay? So now you're in union, and then here it is, this, that, and the other. So at that point, it's what you allow inside the bedroom, inside your union, or inside, it's inside, with, not inside, but with the union. Then that right there, it can be okay. So the thing is, I don't really want to elaborate so much on that, especially touching toes for people who may have a viewpoint of heterosexual monogamous relationships. But what we do need to acknowledge is that there are men and women out there, they have more than one spouse, or more than one relationship. So let me give you an example of that. We have people who are single, and a man may have a baby mama here, a baby mama there, and the thing is that when we look at, here it is, the baby mamas, we don't want to call it baby mama drama, but what we want those men to get with their women. Men, get with your women, okay? That's your baby mama. And those two baby mamas need to chit-chat with each other. Because not between them, but with them, there's money. There's resources, okay? They could share caring and taking care of the children together, okay? The man, if he's out there working, he also put that money in the pot. Now y'all could buy a bigger place or a larger house or larger land, okay? Here it is. If he decided he wanted to marry one over the other, I mean, I guess it's okay, to tell you the truth. Both of them could change their names, literally. They could go down there to the courthouse and change their last name. When I went to the thing, say, honey, most of them, they were Yoders and Weavers, and there was a whole lot of them. I was just like, that's one big old happy family. So here it is. Don't get it twisted. People are doing this thing, and it's legal, And how do we build that? For a man back in the day, his last name meant something. Well, here it is. They saw that Mr. Ratliff came into the door. Mr. Ratliff is here. Okay, this is the truth. So to go be like, oh, here it is. I don't know. I just think that here it is. We have to work on it. Same thing. So anyway, let's just say this woman ended up having a baby by another man. And yet here it is, this other. Now, some of these men, they haven't participated with their children. So mothers, we think. And then some of them have. So let's just say this, so I don't know. That becomes a little bit this, that, and the other, but it's always good for the man to try to maintain and have a relationship with his child's mother. But I wanted to say, now say there's another man involved, and here it is, she gets pregnant by him. Well, at that point, there's a enhancement in terms of the family unit. The family unit. Now, the family unit is just that. It is expanded. Okay, why? Because there's a man there who's also the father of another child by the same woman, another man. So here it is, that's family. What about surrogate fathers and mothers? Men who help provide and give care to, here it is, a child or something that he felt like he adopted. Well, the same thing. There's responsibilities there. Okay? So when we look at family, how do we acknowledge, how does these men, it really goes to the man. Okay? And get to, well, whoa. The man. He's the one who's sweetening her up. Baby, I want me some say milk, I need this, son. I don't know what they out there hollering about today. But the thing is that it is the man. The man. You go talk to that female. You bring the other female. Y'all talk about what it is. Remember, it is a business. It's a corporation. You establish partnerships. Now you in this union, you have your offspring. What are you going to do to try and think about your future? A man shouldn't be out there humping this one, humping this one, humping this one. That's why here it is, some of us got miles. Shh. Put down our bodies. We do not want our men going around humping on these different women. And women, my advice always to refrain from having sexual intercourse. We really could do without it, and I ain't gonna say it to you. Females, we really could do without having sex with that man and that man. I ain't gonna say it's the truth. I mean, here it is. I don't know. I used to have a girlfriend named Mo, and she felt like she was a nymphomaniac or whatever they call it. I'm like, girl, you don't have to do that. I ain't know what she's getting out of it. But anyway, what's that movie by Spike Lee? Call Girl 6, whatever that is. Street meat. Anyway, all that to say is, for our females, I tell you to go on their shoes, please keep your legs closed. Honey, that correct. Keep going. You don't have to have any sex. Not share your yanni like that. Yes. I wanted to say briefly, there was a conversation. Oh, I did mention that. I just want to go over it again. What I could not understand is these women who are working for this organization and they're having on their thing, keep abortion legal. Excuse my French, but bitch, please, we are pro-life always. Every female, you better know it. We are pro-life. Okay? We want to live. We are females. We don't want to we don't want that to be first. Okay? And I wasn't saying, to the females. I'm only talking about, here it is, the stucker. Here it is, the whatchamajiggy. Here, it is, not that here it is, we're talking about life. We mothers. How are we going to abort? Think about carrying abortion first. Well, here it is, we mothers naturally. Do you understand what I mean when I say what I mean? What? Now, I can understand about those things in terms of reproductive justice, but hold on. I understand that thing when it comes down to reproductive justice. But when it comes down to, here it is, us acknowledging abortion before, here it is, life, we acknowledge life. And then here it is, we'll acknowledge that here it is, it's just a reproductive justice right. How about that? Anyway, We're running on. All right. Okay. I said this already. The topic of the day is how women should address their men and how we need men to address their women. Okay. So the thing is that there's a lot of work there because of course every individual is situation it matters. But I wanted to have a small conversation about what happened some time ago. I do not support being mistreated or abused or any other woman or man suffering from domestic violence. I think that here it is, the scope of being, okay, listen, it's one thing when here it is, one little incident takes place. Here it is, the boundaries is stated, don't do that to one person. Then here it is, this person does this or this person does that. It doesn't matter if they feel like they're making small steps or they're achieving here or achieving there. But once they hit you once or they do this, they pull out a knife or a machete or a gun or this or that. I don't give a flying flip. The answer to that is go on with females. Go on about your business, babe. I ain't gonna feel it to you. I don't hear it is anybody who feel like we have to support. No. That don't mean that I cannot be cordial with you. We can get along. Here it is with a short hand or a long hand. But yet for me to feel like I want to support any person who is being abused when they do not have to have it. There's people out there that want to love and care for people. Now here it is. Why do you feel like I should subject to something that's mistreating me? Now if there's one thing, here it is, time and time again, women, they go from one thing, they get involved in a relationship and vice versa, and a man too. But sometimes some of these men, they get on it. I look at no. You know, sometimes we thank you, man. We thank you. Sometimes we can be like, all kinds of stuff, okay? But the thing is that when you're involved in a union, you're involved in a relationship, okay, there's some room there because we've always given room to say, okay, we try to make things work over here. All right, we try to make things work. But there is a domestic hotline number, and here it is. If women feel like they ever have to go and communicate about domestic violence, my encouragement is for them to do just that. And the same thing for men. There is information provided for men too. Don't get it twisted. But I do not support domestic violence, and here it is. I don't give a fuck if somebody, excuse my French, somebody's bout, somebody's, here it is, we gotta follow a fucking pattern, excuse my French. But the answer to that is no. I understand, over here does you come, over here does you come. I'm like, honey, y'all sound like y'all too caught up in y'all situation, but y'all not understanding something. Say, here it is, no. When there was some provision there to say, okay, hey, we can get along, this, that, and the other, blase, blase, the answer to is what? So anyway, let me give you this hotline number. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is, wait for it, I don't care what it is, one little thing to go into this thing, it's so easy just to walk away. It really, really is. It's called the hotline.org, the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The telephone number is 1-800-799-7233. Okay? 1-800-799-7233. Please, I encourage women to, I don't ever want anybody to feel like they have to break up their home. But what I realized that if you read the whole scope of domestic violence, the question is where does that stuff come from? Where did it come from? It's most of this information. There's cyberbullying. There's, here it is, a man verbal abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse. It's all, no, it's free. It's free, people. And yet here it is when you have somebody who want to enjoy their time and their space with you, you don't want them to mistreat you. You want to be mistreated? I don't want to be mistreated. They ain't gonna fib to you. You know, especially when you get older, but these young women, they were young. How do you want me because of some ding-a-ling? I'm sorry. And then here it is. That's just not only heterosexual relationships. But here, what I found out is that this is interesting. They were communicating something about how they want to have a domestic violence court. Are we supporting domestic violence? What's going on? Here it is, anger management. They do have anger management classes. And yet here it is, when we look at domestic violence, you better believe it. Here it is associated with that, anger management. It is mental. What's going on? So I had a little altercation here, a little altercation there. That don't mean that here it is, I have to explode with that. It's just the truth. I look at my children, and here it is, they may have an attitude. Where you get that from? I didn't teach that to you. But then here it is, my response and how we interact, it matters to me. Okay, now that's child. But then there's elderly. They got elderly. They have child. They have female. They have male. Just talk it over. It ain't nothing for us to sit there and feel like we want to hide and run from it. Because when you look at it, somewhere in there, you have to understand that there are outreach programs and people out there. But you know what? I tell you the God honest truth. Some people seem so insensitive. Like here it is, it doesn't matter. So what's going on in that area where we feel like that's okay? Somewhere in there it's not okay. It is not. Oh, here it is, you got to stick with this man even though, boop, oh, he put out a gun, he put out a knife, oh, he got a stick at you, oh, he got a shovel. But what? No. No, no. All right. So anyway, I provided the number for the domestic violence hotline. And as I stated before, it is not okay, you know, really, to tell you the truth. I mean, there ain't no reason for anybody, I'm an adult woman, for them to try to think, oh, you're just what we, you know, hey, I mean, this is that and the other conversation, okay. Intimate, no. We try and figure like I had to patch that to answer to that bed. No, I have not ever. I have not ever. Okay? All right. So, moving right along from that, I wanted to say that the park is so beautiful. I'm hoping that here it is, we're able to actually grow into the park. And so someone said, well, what if it gets bigger? Well, first let's grow into that and see where we're going to go. If that grows, then that means that here it is, we have a committee. So we are looking for people who's able to establish a committee or be a part of the various committees. I'm going to say, too, we need a taxi service in the area. I had my bike. I was riding my bike today. I probably could have caught the bus. I was able to meet one end to the next. But I ended up riding the bike. And then here it is, I had the bike. And then I went to the store. And then I had the treats for the Nguzo Saba table. And here it is, by the time I was trying to take those things home, normally I would give them away. And I did give out some things. But I had the bulk of it. And so I brought it back home with me. And I was on the bus. And I was just like, okay. And I'm walking the bike. And I didn't ride it. I had to walk it because I had a lot of stuff. So my suggestion is, we do need a taxi service in the area, local service by the local residents in the area, okay? So you know how like somebody granddaddy have his old Cadillac or something, and he's able to put a few folks in the back and carry the groceries, and you know, bus fare is $2.25, you know. So if we consider, you know, that route, if they're in the area, you know, they live in the area, they're not coming all the way from one end of the road and try to get to the grocery store. So they in the area. So anywhere from one, if they're in the area, the bus fare is $2.25, but they can buy a MARTA card. So be reasonable. Bus fare is $2.25 one way, $4.50 round trip. You know, over here I got a lot in my pocket. hold up. I mean, if you're just riding around in the area, in terms of a week, this is that and the other. I mean, you have to calculate it. The way I saw it is maybe what? That's maybe what, $1.25? $1.50? It could be less than a bus fare. Because they already probably have a MARTA card. Or not, they may have it. We do have elders that need a ride here and there. Sometimes that bus is inconvenient. So there's a little job opportunity for somebody. You got 2 grocery stores on Cascade. Then you have one over here, over here at Kroger on by Greenbrier Mall. Please be safe. Please make sure there's somebody you know, okay? But the thing is that could be a little thing that they could do. But you have Publix and you have Kroger, and they can ask somebody if they need a little ride. Okay, make sure you have insurance. All right. Yeah, $1 or $2 for real. You gotta wait on the bus. Some people want to get ready and get where they gotta go. I'm like, good Lord, I want to call family, and I'm like, well, I have the bike, and you gotta wonder if people gonna want to pick you up and all that kind of stuff. You want to fetch a ride, they want to charge you $5. Anyway, please, somebody, one of our elderly men or whatever, one of our mid-aged men, we need tax service. One of them senior citizens, don't have nothing else to ride around. Yes, it matters. Anyway. All right, so anyway, going back up here today. All right, let's see. I don't know, is there any other conversation that is a talking point? I actually need to actually kind of catch up on some paperwork here and there to try to get some things situated and ready for the week. I need to get the schedule for the month of June, so I encourage you to please look at meetup.com. Meetup.com, there you'll see that there is a schedule there, and the schedule for meetup.com for the month of June, and I think we kind of branched out into the month of July. I have spoken with a gentleman. He's in another state. I'm hoping to communicate with him about Street Meat Company and how he's able to establish Street Meat Company in his state. And that would be really, really good. Some of the rhetoric and the tone, I don't understand it. We got to work on it, okay? Because sometimes some of these things is just ineffective. It's just such an unnecessary conversation. Understanding the integers of positive and negative, okay? You must understand what that is. Whether it's unilateral, bilateral, I don't care, okay? Know it, okay? Positive and negative conversation. I wanted to this too is that I did offer somebody else opportunity to participate with me attending a meeting, but I am leaving that option open for somebody else who may be interested, just in case this young lady doesn't attend. It is in, they asked me and they wanted to make sure that I did have somebody to actually attend the meeting with me, but I am looking for someone to participate in a meeting with me in relations to real estate. And so I had a gentleman, and they were talking about real estate and land and all that kind of stuff. But then I had one man say, hey, I don't even have a house. So I'm like, some of this stuff in the scope of our thoughts, it can be really, really, really way, way, way over there somewhere. But we have to keep things in perspective, And what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean is that sometimes a lot of people are on autism. Okay, please search autism. We do have speakers who speak about it. Okay, so sometimes we be like, okay, this is humongous here, there. So anyway, so the thing is that if you're interested in attending the meeting with me on June 14th, you're more than welcome. I do need you to have a response, whether you're on streetmeet.biz or meetup.com. Please let me know if you'd like to attend the meeting. Also, I don't know, this will be a short meeting this evening, okay? I wanted to say I have to get on my juice. Thank you. All right. Okay, thanks for joining Street Meet, The Point, listening audience, and hope to have your support. We appreciate you listening and being involved. We accept donations. We also do crowdfund. And we see crowdfunding support and your participation. Everyone is valuable in your participation to help yourself, family, community, local, state, region, federal, and global community relies on the many people that contribute to it being an effective structure. Thanks again. Please visit www.streetmeet.biz and our Connect partner with www.meetup.com/street-meet. And I want to express again that we are on the radio. We're trying to do it daily at 11:30 p.m. Anywhere from 30 minutes up to 2 hours a day. Okay, it depends on how the information is being provided and what the discussion points in here and there. And of course, as always, we thank you. Okay, thank you very much. And when you call in tomorrow, for listeners, the telephone number is 646-564-9776. Thanks. Have a good night.